Have you ever wondered what really is the extent of radio telemetry? Throughout my falconry career, I have found myself in situations where the only way a lost hawk will be found is by relying on radio telemetry. So it's vitally important that we can trust this technology when free-flying our hawks. And in this video, I'm going to be putting my RT Turbo transmitter through a series of tests that are designed to mimic different situations you may find yourself in when a hawk is on the loose. We're going to run through 4 tests that will involve Josh hiding the transmitter in various situations, and then I will be timed tracking it down. And make sure you stick around to the end for some quite interesting results. But first, we have to set a baseline, a control time. So Josh has got 2 minutes to go out and hide the transmitter, and then I will go and track it down and we'll see how long it takes. Go. Right, 3 minutes 17 is a control. The next test is designed to test the terrain and sort of elevations in the landscape. Say you are flying your hawk in a valley and she disappears over a hill, or even the other way around. How reliable will the telemetry be then? So for this test, Josh again has got 2 minutes to go out, and then once he's hit those 2 minutes, he's going to bury that transmitter under a pile of soil. Start, go. It's still a strong signal. I'm not noticing any difference from the control. I was expecting it to be a little bit quieter. I'm going to just get into the middle of the field first and then do a bit of a sweep around, see if I can work out which direction it's in. I'm going to do a sweep and see if there's any obvious direction. No. I'm getting full signal all the way around, which means we're going to have to turn it down already. We're still bouncing at 99 up there. Still getting 99 in every direction. I'm going to have to turn it down even more. Signal's picking up. Oh, we hit 99 again. Yeah, we'll have to turn it down even more now. I'm going to turn it right down and then do another sweep. So I've gone past it. So now I need to go back this way again. Somewhere around here. I'll turn it right down. See, by this point, with an actual hawk, you would probably be listening for the bell. But I don't have that luxury this time. Well, it must be around here somewhere. I'm on top of it. I have to turn this right down. Is that it there? Right, well, okay, 4 minutes 46. Next, we're going to test the transmitter against water. Supposedly, the transmitters have got some level of waterproofing, but I am not willing to go and dump my main tracking system into a lake just to find out how waterproof they are for a video. No, this test is going to find out how the signal might be affected being submerged in water. And this one is kind of dedicated to Peggy, my Harris hawk, because I have lost count how many times I have found her taking a bath in a stream whilst we've been out flying. Okay, so first off we have to find out if we can even pick it up in water, but I'm going to turn this on, and as soon as I turn it on I'm going to start the timer and we will go. Okay, oh, so you can, so there is still a signal, and it's still a strong signal, which I wasn't expecting. Oh. I thought that this test would be a lot more difficult because it's all done off radio waves which bounce off water. So I thought this test and the next test in the woods would be a lot more difficult than the others, but I'm still getting a full, strong signal. So I'm going to head into the middle of the field again and then do a sweep, just like the other tests. It's jumping around a bit more than on the other tests, the signal. I'm going to have to turn it down because just like the other one, I'm getting full signal in every direction. Oh, now that I've turned it down, it's gone a lot more crackly. I'm still getting full signal in every direction. Right, okay, there we go. I'm not hitting 99 anymore. But you hear that, it's a lot more crackly than the others. So, apart from a bit of crackliness, it didn't seem to have any kind of effect on the signal. So, 3 minutes 7 seconds. Now we're going to test the telemetry in the woods. With a loose hawk, it's unlikely your hawk will only ever stay in nice wide open areas. She will very likely get herself into places that makes your life tracking her a lot more difficult. So for this test, Josh is going to go and hide the transmitter right in the middle of some dense woodlands. So this time we're right in the middle of the woods, and we're just going to go again. I'm going to turn this on, and as soon as I turn this on, set the timer, and let's get going. So, even though I'm getting a full signal, here in the woods kind of have to behave a little bit differently, and this is where triangulation is really going to help, or some form of. So I'm going to stand here and do a sweep straight away. Usually with all the other ones I've had to go into the middle of the field before I do a sweep, but when you're in the woods you don't get that luxury. So you have to just try and work out where that signal is coming from, no matter where you are. Now it is always helpful if you can find an opening in the woods to get yourself there, but in this set of woods we don't have one of those. So I'm going to turn the signal right down and sort of sweep around to see if I can work out which direction the signal is coming from. But I'm still getting full signal everywhere, so I'm going to have to turn it right down. You even further. When it stops hitting 99, there we go, so we're not hitting 99 anymore, so now I can start to do a bit of a sweep. And this is where things start to get a lot more difficult because the signal will be bouncing around all over the place, but I'm getting 99 still in that direction. So I'm not going to walk in that direction because we need to triangulate where the signal is coming from, and walking through the middle of the dense woods is probably going to slow you down, meaning your hawk could have gone anywhere by the time you've got to it. So instead I'm going to follow this path up, and I'm going to keep going up and sort of periodically check that the signal is still coming from the same direction that we got before. But what I want to do is try and keep going until I'm getting a signal from a different direction to originally. And that way I can find the midpoint and go straight down the middle to find them both. But, I mean, we must have got closer because the signal is all the way back up at 99 again. So I'm going to, again, turn it down. And see, so last time I was getting full signal that direction. Now it's this sort of direction. So I'm going to go down, there's an opening here, I'm going to walk down this bit. Still seem to be getting stronger signal this way. I'm going to keep it pointed this way. And I think we now have most likely gone past it because signal seems to have almost completely died down. So if I point back to this way, oh, okay. These are the difficulties of tracking a bird in the woods. Signals seem to just come and go. And weirdly, find yourself an open place, you might get a signal again. So let's go through here. And see, pointing the same way as before, but find myself a little clearing and already get a strong signal again. Which means we've not yet gone past it. So I'm going to keep going in this direction. Go through here. So we're now getting stronger signal in the complete opposite direction to where we originally started. I found it. So that is 4 minutes, 19 seconds. The final test is the distance test. According to Marshall, this transmitter should have a range of up to 140 miles, but Marshall is an American company, and the English terrain is very different to how it is in America. We don't have as much vast open spaces as they do over there. So what really is the range here in the UK? So for this test, Josh is going to take the transmitter and just start driving, while I keep the receiver on so we can find out how far he gets before I lose all kind of signal. And just to make sure the car isn't acting as some kind of Faraday cage, Josh is going to hold the transmitter out of the window at set mile markers. So, the telemetry is travelling. I'm going to turn this on and see what kind of signal we get. Try and get a signal, we're not getting much here. I'm going to have to go further into the field where I've got a bit more open space. So I'm just getting a load of static and it's only just set off, which is not the best sign when Marshall boasts a 100-mile range. So let's go into the middle of the field and see if we can pick something up. miles away, and we are getting the tiniest little signal. I don't know if you can hear that, but we're jumping up to, there we go. We jumped up to about 84 at the most with a little bit of a signal, and that's only 5 miles. So we're going to check back in at 10 miles and see what happens. So this test has not really gone to plan. Marshall boasts that their RT Turbo goes 100 miles of range. Let me just turn this off. Now, I was not expecting to get 100 miles of range, but I thought that it would at least go 20, 30 maybe miles. Josh is 8 miles away and there is no signal at all. So I guess if your bird disappears, get somewhere very high up or run after it quickly. Right, okay then. Fail. Well, that was a big flop. If anyone can think of a more accurate way to test the range of a transmitter here in the UK, please let me know in the comments below. So the results are in. The control just had the transmitter out in the open with no potential hindrance on signal, and with Josh having a full 2 minutes to go and hide it, 3 minutes and 17 seconds really isn't too bad. Then we move on to our first test, the ground test, coming in at a huge increase of 4 minutes and 46 seconds. Now this is where I think these results are a little bit deceiving. Despite having a huge increase in time, I was actually right on top of the transmitter in roughly the same amount of time as the control. I didn't notice any change in signal strength at all. This particular test really highlights that telemetry will only get you so close. At a certain point, it's up to you to find the hawk. It really shows the importance of bells, because while radio telemetry may get you under the right tree, it's then your job to spot your hawk out in that tree. And like me looking for a buried transmitter without a bell, that's very tricky to do. Next we have the water test, and at 3 minutes and 7 seconds, I actually found the transmitter faster than in the control. Between you and me, this does not mean the water helped. I think the water had no effect other than a little bit of extra static coming through, and the shortened time is probably more to do with me asking Josh to continuously walk for 2 minutes for the 3rd time. I think this 2 minutes was a little bit shorter than the previous ones. The next test was in the woods, and at 4 minutes and 19 seconds, it wasn't as long as the ground test, but from my end, it was the most difficult, and my path to the transmitter was the least direct. It also shows that really knowing the system and having experience using it in a range of situations is the only way that I found that one, without a bell. Lastly, we have the range test. Now, I know I kept saying that Marshall says there is 100 miles of range, which is crazy, but I wasn't entirely correct with that. Marshall states that the RT Turbo has twice the range of one of their other RTs, and they claim that that one has a range of 70 miles. So that means that my RT Turbo should have a range of up to 140 miles. So to fail after just 8 miles, I'm not entirely sure what happened with that. I'm not in any way saying that they don't have the range that Marshall state. I need to rethink this whole test. Now I know these are all very small scale tests in terms of actually tracking a lost hawk. An entire hill between you and the transmitter may have a different effect to just burying it under a thin layer. Your hawk taking a plunge into a deep running river may have a different effect to a Tupperware full of water. But there are still lessons to learn from this. The main one being the importance of bells. And if your hawk is completely lost and you have no idea where she is, get somewhere open, high, and make sure you understand your telemetry system. So next I will be putting Marshall's GPS through the same tests to see how that affects the timings. So if you don't want to miss that, then make sure you are subscribed. And please consider becoming a member. It's just 99p per month, and that is less than a third the price of a coffee at most places nowadays. You get to see videos early, you get to come in a private chat with me and all the other members, and there is a bunch of other things that we're planning to do, so become a member. If you've enjoyed this video, then make sure to give it a like, and if there are other tests you would like to see me put the telemetry through, then please leave it as a comment below. And for now, thank you for watching.